Hello students, once again welcome to my channel. Friends, this is video number 4 of this video series on Unit 1 drama in Elizabethan age. And let's begin the video. This video is about Shakespearean historical plays. So we have already talked about Shakespearean tragedies and comedies, and now we are going to talk about the historical plays, the history writings by William Shakespeare. And you can see here these are the list the plays, we can say. Yes, King John, then Edward III, Richard II, Henry. He has written on Henry a lot of, and so many historical plays are there. So let's learn one by one about each. Okay, and let me tell that I will share only the IMP facts, friends, which can be useful in UGC NET exam as well as other exams of English literature. So first one is King John, and the full title is The Life and Death of King John. Yes, friends, it is the full title of this particular play, historical play. And this is a chronicle play of 5 acts. All the plays of Shakespeare are written into 5 acts. Okay, don't forget this. So 5 acts are common thing, common characteristic of his plays, and it is on the reign of King John of England, his ruling. Yes, it is talking about his reign, King John of England, and written around 1594-96, but published only after, only in the first folio. Yes, it was written in 1594-1596, but published in the first folio. We already talked about what is first folio, friends. For that you can watch my first video on William Shakespeare's drama. So it was published in 1623. The original publication was uh, in 1623, but written around 94 and 96. And the source, when we talk about the source of this particular play is two-part drama entitled as The Troublesome Reign of King John, King of England. Yes, The Troublesome Reign of John, King of England. That is the title, the source of this particular play of Shakespeare. Shakespeare used this source for writing this particular play. And the major characters are King John, he is the King of England, then Eleanor, Queen Mother, Blanche of Cashile, John's niece, and Lord Bigot, Earl of Norfolk. Constance is widow of Geoffrey. Geoffrey is actually the King John's elder brother. So these are major characters, friends. Then Edward III is there, partly written by Shakespeare around 1596. It is believed that partly written by him, because many people believe that Thomas Kidd is also the author, one of the author of this play. So it is believed as collaborative work of Shakespeare and Thomas Kidd. And when we see the major characters, King Edward III is there, Queen Philippa, his wife, then Edward, the Black Prince. He is known as Black Prince Edward, and he is their son of Edward and Philippa. Then Earl of Salisbury, Sir William Montague, Salisbury's nephew. Sir William Montague is Salisbury's nephew. These are major one. Friends, I have not noted more characters here because so many characters are there in Shakespearean plays. I tried to note down here the major one only, which may be asked in exam. But the facts are important. Apart from characters, the facts written above these facts are important, friends. Now Richard II is there. Chronicle play once again of 5 acts written in 1595-96. Then published in 1597 as a quarto text. We also talked about quarto text. Then quarto edition omits the deposition scene of Act 4 as a result of censorship. So friends, here let me tell you that this quarto edition, in this edition, one scene was omitted. Okay, one scene was omitted, deposition scene was omitted, From Act 4, it may be asked difference. It may be asked in exam which scene was omitted from the quarto edition of Shakespeare's Richard II. Or they may ask in another way, which in which play the deposition scene of Act 4 was omitted. Okay, so it may be asked in different ways. So it was a reason of censorship. Okay, as a result of censorship, they omitted this particular scene, but it is there in the publication of first folio. Then a part of four plays, other three are Henry 4, Part 1, 2, and Henry 5, known as Second Tetralogy. Friends, this particular word, phrase, very important word, Second Tetralogy. Tetralogy means literary writings, a collection of literary writings. Four writings are there in this collection. That is called a tetralogy. And this tetralogy, here, Shakespeare uh, wrote two tetralogies, first one and the second one. This is the second one, in which Richard II is included, and other three plays are Henry 4 Part 1, Henry 4 Part 2, and Henry 5. So these three plays along with Richard 2, these four plays are collectively known as Second Tetralogy of Shakespeare. Don't forget this one. This is important one. And when we talk about first tetralogy includes Henry 6 Part 1, 2, and 3, and Richard 3. So here also three plays on Henry 6 and Richard 3. So four plays once again. So it was collectively known as first tetralogy by Shakespeare. Then major characters when we talk about King Richard II is there, John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster, Richard's uncle he is, then Duke of Ormeri, Anne of Bohemia, Richard's wife, then Duchess of Gloucester, widow of Thomas Woodstock, then Henry Bolingbroke, Duke of Hereford. So these are major characters, friends. You can note them down. I will share the link also of this material in PDF form, friends. So also join my Telegram group for that. Then Henry 4, Part 1 and 2, a part of Second Tetralogy, as we talked about. This play was also known as chronicle play of five acts, written around 1596-97 and published as a quarto edition in 1598. Major characters when we talk about King Henry 4 is there, Prince Harry, who will become King Henry 5 after his father. Then Hotspur, Henry Percy, the Earl of Northumberland. He is known as Hotspur in this play. Then Sir John Falstaff, Harry's close friend, closest friend, I think. Then John of Lancaster, younger son of King Henry. Then Sir Walter Blunt, he is a trusted warrior in the army of King Henry IV, and Edmund Mortimer. Edmund Mortimer is the Earl of March. Then Owen Glyndwr. Glyndwr is the leader of Welsh rebels. Then Archibald. Archibald is the Earl of Douglas. So these are major one in Henry IV. Then, friends, Henry V. Once again, it is a part of Second Trilogy. Then it is chronicle play of five acts, and it was first performed in 1599. So, friends, it was first performed in 99 and published in 1600 as quarto edition. So, all the plays, most of the plays are uh, published as quarto edition, and then after these plays were published in the first folio in 1623 by the friends of Shakespeare, that we already talked about in the first video. You can watch that video. And major characters when we talk about King Henry V is there. Then chorus is one character, single character, who introduces each act of the play. Then York and Suffolk, two noble cousins, die in the Battle of Agincourt. Then Isabel, Queen of France, Dauphin, son of the King of France, and Sir Thomas Erpingham is the name. Sir Thomas Erpingham, wise, aged veteran of many wars in the army of King Henry V, and Captain Gover, army captain. He is the army captain. So these are important one. Then, friends, Henry VI, part 1 to 3. So part 1, this particular play includes three different parts. So three different plays are there in this particular play. So part 1 was written in collaboration with Marlowe and Thomas Nash in 1591. It is believed that it is a collaborative work. Christopher Marlowe and Thomas Nash helped Shakespeare in writing this particular work in 1591. Then it is a part of first tetralogy. As we talked about, first tetralogy includes these three plays and Richard III. Then, story of the Wars of the Roses between the House of Lancaster and York. So it is a particular play in which a story is narrated, a story, the history of the Wars of the Roses between the House of Lancaster and York. It is narrated there, friends. So that we have to remember in which play the story of War of the Roses was narrated. So it was Henry VI and the houses of Lancaster and York. And part 3 has the longest soliloquy. That is important fact, friends. The longest soliloquy in all Shakespearean plays. And this soliloquy was spoken by Richard, the Duke of Gloucester. Okay, so that is very important fact, friends. Longest soliloquy is there in Shakespeare's play, and it is in part 3, Henry VI, and it was spoken by Richard, the Duke of Gloucester. And one more thing is that it occurs with the last 71 lines. So last 71 lines of the play is a soliloquy, and that is the soliloquy, and it occurs in Act 3, Scene 2. So in Act 3, Scene 2, these lines are appearing and spoken by Richard, the Duke of Gloucester. Then Richard III is there, friends. Chronicle play once again of 5 acts written in 1592-94. Published in 1597 as quarto edition also. So written around 92-94 and published in 97. Last in the first tetralogy. Friends, once again important fact, it is the last play in the first tetralogy, the first collection of 4 plays. Other we know that Henry VI, 1, 2 and 3. Then the longest play in the first folio and second longest in the quarto editions of Shakespeare. This is also important one. This is called the longest play in the first folio edition, because in the first folio some of the parts of Hamlet are just omitted, or it is made shorter than before, and that's why this particular play became the longest play in the first folio and the second longest uh, play in the quarto editions of Shakespeare. Then Henry VIII. Henry VIII is there. Chronicle play it is of 5 acts produced in 1613, published in the first folio in 1623, and also believed that it is a collaborative work between John Fletcher and Shakespeare. So that we have to remember, collaborative work between John Fletcher and Shakespeare. It is believed that. Then the alternative title given to this play is All is True. So don't forget this, friends. I omitted the characters because the character list is very much long, and I think that important facts are needed for the exam, not the characters. Major characters are already mentioned in major plays, so these plays are not much asked in the exams, but they may ask important facts. That's why I added the facts only here, not the characters. Then, friends, at the end of this video, let me share the IMP facts. Uh, First one is King John. Full title is Life and Death of King John, that we have to remember. Then many believe Thomas Kidd as the co-author of it. What was that play? So it was Edward III. Then quarto edition of which play omits the deposition scene of Act 4 as a result of censorship. So it was Richard II. Then first tetralogy includes Henry VI, Part 1, 2, and 3, and Richard III. That we have to remember. Then second tetralogy is including four plays: Henry IV, Part 1, Henry IV, Part 2, and Henry V. Then Richard III. Sorry, here I have make a mistake. Richard II will come here. Then Henry V is last in the sequence of four plays that we have to remember. In second tetralogy, Henry V is the last one, last play, and Henry VI is a story of the wars of the roses between the houses of Lancaster and York. That we have to remember. The story is narrated in Henry VI. Then Part One was written in collaboration with Marlowe and Nash in 1591. So part 1 of Henry VI. It was written in collaboration with Marlowe and Nash that we talked about. And part 3 has the longest soliloquy in all of Shakespeare's plays spoken by Richard, the Duke of Gloucester. Then this soliloquy occurs with the last 71 lines in Act 3, Scene 2. Then Richard III is the last in the first tetralogy. Other three are Henry VI, 1, 2, and 3 that we talked about. Then Richard III is the longest one in the first folio and second longest in quarto editions of Shakespeare. Then Henry VIII is there. It is believed as a collaborative work with John Fletcher. Important fact. Then Henry VIII has an alternative title, or if uh, all is true, alternative title of all is true. Here friends, there is a mistake. O will come here. So all is true is the alternative title for Henry VIII. So friends, these were the important facts I shared with you. Next video will be on the other dramatists of Elizabethan age. Then we will talk about next age of English literature. So till then, thank you so much.